we're out onto the floodplain here. The water's been slowed down, and your weir there has allowed the water to start coming up in this floodplain.
The Australian floodplains were grass-covered dams. That's what we're looking at. We've got a little bit of a hollow here. That's the water level across the whole of this. The grass is then able to reach down to the water, bring a biological balance to the surface, and maintain surface fertility. It can't then be leached. If it rains, it can only fill to the water table. But the plant can always reach there and bring fertility back to the top. So suddenly it goes from, as it is with nice heavy black soil.
So that was deposited here in that flood in
Yeah, but
November.
it stays on the surface simply because it's sitting on top of the water table, and we go back onto something that this is how it started. Started as sand, and in one flood and a few plants, and it goes to that in just months or even weeks. And of course this happened partly in a day, but there's a processing thing from that to this to grassland, and it can happen in 6 weeks easily.
Okay. So the process, when you first came here, this was sand was getting washed down through
covering everything.
floods.
It was just covered in sand, because the first issue is, as an environment degrades, doesn't matter whether it's a desert or it's a creek that's gone to a desert. Once you've got a moving sand body, it's really hard for plants to get established. Once you can set a system up and stop the sand moving, then this is the result.
Okay, so there was no nutrients in that sand. No. There was no water in the system because it was draining out.
Yeah, this gets washed out like putting it through a washing machine. All the organics gets washed out, and you can't stop it. As soon as you stop the sand moving, then it starts building organic matter, and the plants.
And the steps that you went through were first by putting the rocks in the creek base.
Absolutely, yep.
Slowing the water down there, allowing it then to flood out across here.
Yes.
Drop the nutrients, then nature took over.
Absolutely. But, you know, we're only redesigning what used to be here. It is definitely not possible, I believe, to do much better than the Australian floodplain system used to be, you know. And I keep saying, people think it's really expensive. But we must remember it happened automatically and cost nothing and required no management except letting the plants do the job. And we don't seem to be able to get to that today, to that understanding.